Hello everyone, this is Ram Samtikar, your course instructor for Java programming. So, in today's video, we will discuss about introduction to Java and Java history. So, mostly we will focus on the second point, which is nothing but Java history. So, I will start with the first one, which is introduction to Java. So, now first of all, understand what is Java. So Java programming is a general purpose object oriented programming language designed for the development of software for consumer electronics devices such as TV, VCRs, toasters, remote controls, means the appliances which is commonly used in the home, or we can say that the home appliances. So now first of all understand what do you mean by general purpose. So why Java is called as a general purpose programming language. So here we will go with one example. Okay, so take an example. There is a one person is Raju. Now Raju want to purchase some things from the market. So he have a one bucket list. He want to purchase a pen from the market. He want to purchase a soap from the market, and he want to purchase some glossary from the market. So when Raju went to the market, first of all he goes to the one shop which is bookstore, which is nothing but bookstore. He go to the bookstore and he asked to the shopkeeper about a pen. So from the shop he got a pen. At the same time, Raju asked to the shopkeeper, hello, I want a soap, bath soap from the shop. So the certainly that person given a reply, this is a bookstore, you cannot get a bath soap from this shop. So you have to go some other where. So to complete the need, Raju went to the another shop and purchased a soap, then again go to the another shop and purchase the glossary. So to purchase some daily needs, he has to visit 3 different shops. But after some days, when Raju again went to the another shop, that shop is, take an example, the name of shop is Lakshmi General Store. So in a Lakshmi General Store, when he asks about, so do you have a soap? So that person is given a yes, we have a soap. He asks about, sir, do you have a pen? So he said, yes, we have a pen. So the second requirement is also filled. And he asks some general glossary that he need for his purpose. So all thing was available into that shop. So if the persons are getting everything which is needed for their general purpose from one shop, so definitely that person again will be visit to that shop and purchase the necessary glossary. The point is, general purpose means where you will get the every solutions, not every but all necessary things you will get. So same thing happens in a Java. So when you work with the Java programming, we can build our applications like standalone application. Later we will see what do you mean by standalone application. Second, if you have a requirement for web-based application, so you can build up a web-based application using a Java programming. And again, if you want to build up a mobile applications, you can also build the mobile application with the help of Java programming. So the Java programming is a general purpose programming language. It can be used for the all kinds of application, like build a standalone application, web-based application and mobile application. The another point is object oriented programming. So as we know that if you are familiar with the C programming language, the major focus of C programming language is on procedure. But when we deal with the Java, The major focus of Java programming language is nothing but the object. Later, in the another discussion, we will clear all about the object-oriented programming language and its features. So today we just discussing about some introductory part. And the basically when the team of James Gosling started to work on a Java programming language, at that time their major focus is to build application like television sets, VCR, remote control, toaster, generally home appliances. And for that purpose, they started to design a programming language which is called as a Java programming language. Now understand a history of Java programming language. So it is quite interesting, and everyone should be know that the history of Java programming language. So now in 1991, Sun Microsystem had a requirement to build a software for consumer electronics device like TV, remote control, VCR, toasters, then we can say that the set-top box and all. So this requirement received by Sun Microsystem, and they started to think on to build a software which is need to work with such a embedded system. So for that purpose, the Sun Microsystem worked with one team which is headed by a James Gosling, and the name given to project as a Green Project. So there was a total 30 members in the team, and which is headed by James Gosling. So after gathering the requirement which is necessary to build a software which is needed to work with such a home appliances, the James Gosling and team decided that the existing programming language like C, then after that Pascals are not suitable for building such applications, such a application. So they think to build a new programming language, and when they think to build a new programming language, they identify that there should be some features that must be have in that programming language to build such applications, so that electronics consumer devices. So for that purpose, the team identify some new features that should be in a programming language, in a new programming language. So the features are, first one, that language should be a simple programming language. Then the language is tightly coded language. And third one is that language should be a architectural neutral programming language. So now understand this point. The major requirement of Sun Microsystem is to build a consumer electronics devices, and to build a software for consumer electronics devices, and to build the software we know that we need a programming language. In 1991 there was some programming language like C and Pascal, but when the team gathered the requirement related to the need, they observed that C and Pascals are not suitable programming language to build a software for consumer electronics. So they decided to build a new programming language. And during this analysis, they also observed that that new programming language should have a following feature. The first one is that programming language should be a simple programming language. Second one is it is a tight coded programming language. And third one is a architectural neutral programming language. So now we have to understand each and every features properly. What is the meaning of simple programming language? Now, the first criteria, if we say that programming language is a simple programming language, the first criteria is that language give a minimum execution time. Means the application which is built with the help of that programming language will take a very less execution time. Now understand why there is a need of this requirement, why this characteristic is most important. Suppose Let me give one example. For best performance, to achieve a best performance, minimum execution time is most important part. Like, suppose, take an example, you have a one mobile phone. You have a mobile phone. When you have a mobile phone and suppose you want to call your friend using this mobile phone. When you perform a calling operation, when you perform a calling operation, we know that we dial a number. We dial number. So it's observed that when that person, while using a mobile phone, start to dial a number, your mobile phone is taking a long time. Your mobile phone is taking a long time for dialing a number. It's taking a very long time for dialing a number. We'll take another example. Suppose in a home appliances, we have a television set, right? And to control this television set, we use our device which is called as a remote control. This is your remote control. Through the remote control, you control your television sets. You change the frequency, you change the channel from one to another. Take an example. Suppose if somebody is watching a channel number 230, take an example, this is a 230 channel number, and this channel number is nothing but your news channel Aaj Tak. Fine. And immediately, if your family members want to watch another channel, and on another channel, if there is one interesting movie is going on, so you have to switch from 230, to 420 number. You have to switch from 230 to 420 number. So when you enter a number 420, from switching 230 to 420, if your device is taking a long time, that means it is not giving a better performance. It's taking a maximum time for execution. So we not need such applications. We not need such kinds of devices. So for that purpose, we want to build such applications which take a minimum execution time. So whenever you will get the minimum execution time, that means we can say that your system is giving a best performance. For better performance, the major criteria is it's take some minimum execution time. So the team of James Gosling observed that your system should give a best performance, and to achieve the best performance, your system will take a very less time for the execution. So they have considered one criteria, that is a less execution time, or we can say that minimum execution time. Now, so we have another characteristics to define what do you mean by simple programming language. Let me erase this first. Fine. Now the second one, that programming language which is we called as a simple programming language, which should have another characteristics. It's required a less storage. So now understand practically what do you mean by less storage. Suppose if you go to the mobile shop, and you want to purchase one mobile phone. So generally we have some minimum requirement of mobile phone. Suppose in my mobile phone I want 2 GB RAM. When I ask to the shopkeeper, I need one mobile phone which is having a 2 GB RAM. So he told me that okay, this is a model is available, and the cost of this mobile phone is, take an example, 10,000. The cost of that mobile is a 10,000 is the cost of that mobile phone. Again I ask questions, uh, with this mobile I want to perform, I want to store some data like movies, and then I have a number of apps that I want to explore in my mobile. So is it sufficient? So that person say that, sir, if you have a large need of applications, so you need another mobile phone which is having a 4 GB RAM. 4 GB RAM. So when I ask what is the cost of this 4 GB RAM, that person reply, the cost of this phone is, take an example, 12K. 12K. So if you observe that when my memory requirement is going to be increased from 2 GB to 4 GB, at that time with respect to the memory, the cost is also increasing. With respect to the memory, the cost is also increasing. So that means that if you want to build, or if you want to work with such a programming language where you need to store some data, and if it need a more storage, ultimately the cost of that product will be increased. Ultimately the cost of that product will be increased. Suppose if I had the requirement like I need a one mobile phone, that mobile phone is having a 8 GB RAM. If I want 8 GB RAM, so again the cost will be increased. Suppose take an example, now it is a 20K. Why it is a 20K? Because the memory space has increased. So whenever the memory get increased, at that time cost get increased, and here the aim of the team is to build a consumer devices, and when the consumer want to purchase a devices, at that time they think about the cost of the product. They think about the cost of the product, and for that purpose we need such a programming language that required a less storage. With a minimum storage, it will perform all operations, so that the cost will be reduced. And for that purpose, the team put up a second criteria, that is, it's required a less storage. And remember one thing, whenever the less storage characteristic get fulfilled, the cost of the product get reduced. And now later, let me erase this. They added a third criteria, that is minimum power consumption. The simple programming language means the language which supports to another criteria which is called as a minimum power consumption. So now what do you mean by minimum power consumption? Take an example. Suppose from the market, if you purchase one remote control which control your television set, you can purchase our remote control which control your television set, and at the cost of that remote control is, take an example, 40 rupees, not a 40 rupees, it is near about 140 rupees, take an example. So this remote control is need some battery. Take an example, it's need a 2 battery, and the cost of this battery is one battery for 20 rupees. That means 40 rupees battery you need. Suppose after 15 days, if you observe that this remote control is not working properly because the battery has down, so you have to purchase another new battery. Again you have to spend 40 rupees on that. After 15 days again you have to change. So if your device is consuming more power, ultimately your maintenance cost is going to be increased. Your maintenance, this is battery cost is nothing but your maintenance. You are not purchasing a new remote control, you are just purchasing a new battery. So here the maintenance cost getting increasing. So the team add a third features when you want to build a software which is needed for consumer electronics, that software, that programming language should require a minimum power consumption. When that appliances will be in the use, that appliances will take a minimum power consumption. And when that device consume a minimum power, when consume a minimum power, at that time we will get the one feature, that is less maintenance. You need a very less maintenance cost. So which is less maintenance. So what is the meaning of simple programming language? They define the three criteria: minimum execution time, second one is required less storage, and third one is called as a minimum power consumption. Now the another important criteria is tight coded programming language. Now understand what is the meaning of tight coded programming language. The tight coded programming language means if any programming language takes a less number of lines to code to build a complex application, then it is called as a tight coded programming language. So whenever you want to write a program to build one application, and if that application it's a complex application and you have to write a number of lines, if you have to write a number of lines, then it is called as a loosely coded programming language. And if it is taking a less number of lines, then it is called as a tightly coded programming language. Now understand with one example. So you can easily compare the programming languages which are the tightly coded and which is the loosely coded programming language. Suppose, take an example, if we want to implement a stack in C programming language, So we know that with the stack we perform some operations. We perform some operation with the stack. Suppose our first operation is push operation. Insert the element into the stack. Then pop operation. Delete the element from the stack. Fine. So suppose if you want to perform these two operations with the stack, and if you are using a C programming language, so suppose if you are writing some function, suppose take an example, if you are writing a pop function, it minimum take a 10 line of code. Suppose if you are performing a push operation, then again for example it is taking a 10 line of code. So there should be a total 20 line of code you have to write. Suppose if you want to build your stack application with the help of Java programming language, So with the Java, in a java.util package, we have a one class which is called as a stack class. So what we have to do? We will create an object of stack class, s1 equals to new stack, and we will write a code for suppose push operation. So s1 dot push function you will get. Suppose I want to push number 20, and again I want to perform a pop operation. So s1 dot pop. Fine. So it will pop the element which is at the top. Fine. So if you observe that this is a line number 1, this is a line number 2, and this is a line number 3. So I just have to write only 3 line of code, 3 to 4 line of code to implement a stack in a Java programming language. So if you observe that When you write a code with the C programming language, it's taking out 20 line of code for stack implementation, for warp and push operation, and Java is taking just 3 to 4 or max to max 5 line of code to perform a stack operation. So if you observe, the Java, we can call it as Java is a tight coded programming language because it's required a very less line of code to implement this application. On another side, the C is need a total 20 line of code. So it indicates that the C is not a tight coded programming language, and if it is not tight coded programming language, it is called as your loosely coded programming language. So whenever you want to build any complex programming, so at that time that programming language should be a tight coded programming language. So the team of James Gosling does not consider C programming to build application like consumer electronics, which is not suitable to build such applications. Now later they define another criteria. Which to build a software for consumer electronics. So that criteria is that feature is nothing but the architectural neutral programming language. That language should be a architecture neutral programming language. So what do you mean by architectural neutral? Simple, the software that is designed without regards to the target platform. Let me explain with the one example. Suppose I have designed a one styler for some mobile phone. Suppose I have a 3 mobile phone. This is your mobile phone 1, 2, and this is number 3. And I have a one styler, which is a device which we use to write something on the screen. Fine. So if I am using this styler, I am able to write on a mobile number 1, but using this styler I am unable to write on a screen of mobile number 2 and mobile number 3. That means it is only and only compatible with the one mobile phone, one brand or one architecture or one hardware, but it is not compatible with the other one. So when you think about the architectural neutral, suppose if you are building some home appliances, like if you are designing a remote control, and that using that remote control, if you are able to control a one television set, but another 2 you cannot able to control. So that means it is not uniform, it is not suitable for this 2 ones. So it indicates that there are some platform dependency. By using this, you can only and only control only one device, not to the other one. So if your system don't have such a features, then it is not called as a architectural neutral. So they define another criteria, another features. If we are selecting any programming language or build a new programming language, that language must fulfill the another most important criteria, which is the architectural neutral, which is called as the architectural neutral programming language. So this, by considering this 3 point, the first one is your simple programming language, then it should be a tightly coded programming language, and third one is the architecture neutral programming language. The team started to build a new programming language. And now later in 1992, the team developed a new programming language which is headed by James Gosling. The name of that programming language they given as Oak. They given a name to that programming language as Oak programming language. And when the James Gosling and his team proposed this name to the Sun Microsystem, the Sun Microsystem rejected the name as Oak, because there was already one programming language is available in the market, and that name of that programming language is also O. So to avoid some legal issues, they not accepted this proposal to give a name to that programming language as a O programming language. Now, after that, the story behind is that they've given a name to the Java programming language. The story is that the team of Green Project, while building a Java application, this new programming language, they consume lots of coffee, and that coffee, the brand of that coffee is a Java. So they decided to give a name to that programming language as a Java, and there was no such a programming language, and there was no issue. So that proposal is accepted by Sun Microsystem, and later they given a name to the Java programming language. So this everything happens in 1992. Later what happened, by using a Java programming language, the Sun Microsystem released its first product into the market. The name of that product is Star 7. That Star 7 is nothing but the remote control. By using this new features, that new programming language, which is having all defined features, they design one remote control to handle the home appliances, which is nothing but the Star 7. But when this product launched in the market, the Sun Microsystem not received a proper response from the consumers, and generally say that it was the failure product. That first product of Java was Star 7, and it was a failure product. So there was a very less demand for this Star 7 remote control. Now later, in mid of 1994, the World Wide Web come to the internet and transform the text-based internet into the graphical rich environment. So most of the people was using a World Wide www environment. They switch from text-based environment to the graphical environment. And during this period, to access, we know that if you want to access the internet, if you want to use a www service, at that time, what is the basic need? We need a browser. We need a browser. And in mid of 1994, Java development team developed one web browser called as a Hot Java. They given a name to as a Hot Java to locate and run applets programs on the internet. And this made it immensely popular among the internet user. So when the people was using a Hot Java browser, they identify that the performance of browser is very good. The execution time is taking a very less. It does not need a much more memory. So the people was getting an interest about Hot Java, and they start to identify that which are the components of Hot Java, and immediately it is identified that the Hot Java is developed with the help of Java programming language, and it is developed by Sun Microsystem. By considering this popularity of Hot Java, the Sun Microsystem released a first version of Java JDK in the market in 23rd January of 1996. The first version in the market, which is released by Sun Microsys, the Sun released Java Development Kit 1.0. After some time, in 1997, the Sun Microsys released a Java Development Kit 1.1 version. Then later in 1998, Sun released the Java 2 with version 1.2 of the software development key. Then 1991, they released another updates, and that platform is nothing but Java 2 J2SE, which is widely used nowadays, J2SE and Enterprise Edition, which is most successful versions of updates of Java programming, JDK. In 2000, they released J2SE with SDK 1.3. Then 2002, they released J2SE with SDK 1.4. Later, we will see the comparison of these all, which are the new updates has been added into the all versions of Java. Now, the most important is 2004, they released a J2SE with a JDK 5.0 instance of JDK 1.5, known as J2SE 5.0. And later in 2006, again, Java SE6, then 11, Java SE7, and now the major with the major updates, the Java release in 2014, the Java SE8, which is include a Lambda function, which is mostly used. Then after that, in 2017, they release a SE9 standard edition 9, and now we have a Java SE 15.0, which is the latest release of Java programming language. So this is a history of Java programming language. So we should be know that why Java was invented, and who the Java who invented the Java, then when the Java get invented, then after that what is the major motive to develop a Java programming language. As we see that the major motive was to build a software for consumer electronics devices, and after to achieve this, to build such a software, it's observed that that programming language will have some specific characteristics. So we already gone through that all characteristics, and by considering this, the James Gosling with the team of 30 members release a beautiful programming language which is most widely used in a industry, which is nothing but the Java programming language. Still in a industry, we are working with the Java programming language. So in this course, we will discuss about the different concepts of Java programming language, why it is called as object-oriented programming language, the features of Java programming language, and how it is differ with the C, C++ and other programming language. So thank you so much for your time. Thank you.